Hello and welcome back to Ocarina of Time, where today we're going to be taking on the boss of the Deku Tree. Remember playing this younger and thinking this was the most epic thing. You gotta look up and find the boss, and it's this big scary fight against a spider. I think to a lot of people this might have been the first real big boss fight they played in 3D. Alright, so pretty simple. Wait for the eye to go red, shoot it with a slingshot, and then chop it with the sword or the stick. The stick actually does more damage if you can pull it off. Alright, there's our first boss down. That may very well have been the first boss I fought in 3D. It's either that or maybe Turok 64. I don't really count the ones from Mario 64 because they didn't feel quite as epic as the ones from Ocarina of Time. Okay, we should have a cutscene with the Deku Tree here. I get the feeling if we said no, he was gonna tell us anyway. I don't think you can skip these cutscenes. Basically, if you haven't played this before, the three gods created Hyrule. They also created the Triforce. Ganon's trying to get the Triforce to take over Hyrule. We have to stop him. And the next step we're going to have to take is going to the castle to meet up with Zelda. So basically, Link, Zelda, and Ganon each contain a piece of the Triforce. Link has the Triforce of Courage, Zelda has the Triforce of Wisdom, and Ganon has the Triforce of Power. I think this is actually going to be the first Zelda game on this channel that actually has Ganon in it. If you haven't seen already, we did Majora's Mask, which didn't have Ganon. We did the Minish Cap, which didn't have Ganon. And we did a couple ROM hacks, being Zelda Outlands and The Awakening of Onyx, and neither of them had Ganon. So this is our 5th Zelda game we'll be playing through, and the first one that actually has Ganon in it. Alright, so we got the Forest Stone. A big shiny green number 9. Kind of withering away and leaves are falling down. So we're off to Hyrule Castle to meet up with the princess now. And of course, we're going to be blamed for the Great Deku Tree dying. So we're now an outcast of Kokori Forest. This is kind of an awkward encounter with Saria. So we have an ocarina now. We haven't learned any songs, so we can't really do much with it at the moment. She says to play her ocarina and think of her, and we awkwardly back up and run away without saying goodbye. You almost get the impression that Link doesn't like her very much. Okay, so we're out in Hyrule Field, headed towards the castle. It kind of serves almost like the open world section of this game. not very big by today's standards, but when this came out, this seemed crazy to have this big explorable area to play in. And it's the first time we're going to get stopped by Gohma to tell us what we already know, and if you're not careful at the end of his speech, you don't hit yes, he'll start the speech completely over and you'll have to sit through it twice. It's also not really skippable and you can't really speed through the text in this version, so people hate this owl. Yes, it defaults to no when he says, did you get all that? And if you're just clicking to get through a speech, you'll hit no and he'll start over and you'll have to sit through it a second time. Now if we move pretty quick, we can make it to the castle before the sun goes down. If we don't get there in time, the drawbridge will actually come up and we'll have to wait until daytime to enter the castle village. Yeah, at night it closes off to keep all the enemies out, but if we're not in, we'll get locked out with them and we'll have to fight them until morning before we can enter the castle. Oh, this is going to be close, the sun's going down. Alright, we made it just in time. Stock up on a few rubies, and I believe there's a gold Zelda here. I believe that's like number 4 that we've collected now. Yeah, so for every 10 of those spiders we kill, we'll get a reward in the House of Skulltula. A couple of them aren't that worth it, but a few of them are. Not actually sure if we have to talk to Malin before going into the castle area, but we're not going to risk it. We'll talk to her and then we'll go move on with this quest. Hey, we're already stuck again by this owl. He shows up in a lot of these games. He's in Majora's Mask, he's in Link's Awakening, he's in a few of them. Alright, so now we have to sneak into the castle. Alright, so we need to try and actually get caught and kicked out of here. Because we need to trigger something to happen. Basically, we need to get Malin into this area. And if you're not properly lined up with that vine, it won't let you climb it properly. So we're going to run into the first guard we see. Alright, you can hear that Malin is here singing. Alright, we got an egg. When it hits daytime, it hatches. There we go. We've timed this really well so far in this playthrough. We didn't get locked out the castle and the chicken hatched right away. So now on to the stealth section of this game. These usually aren't my forte. You know, we had one in Majora's Mask where we had to sneak into the Swamp Palace. And we had one in Minish Cap as well where we had to sneak into the castle. So here we go again, sneaking past guards to get into the castle. This one is much less bugged than the one in the Minish Cap, though. Yeah, to get here at night, you actually have to wait until daytime for the chicken to hatch. You can wake up her father. Alright, here's Mario if he was in this game. Could you imagine if they made Mario 64 using that sprite? I couldn't imagine platforming around that game as talent. Now we gotta try and get in here during the day because it won't let us do this at night. Yeah, if you come here at night, these two guards are here and they'll just keep kicking you out until daytime. I remember not knowing that as a kid and getting here at night, and I got kicked out so many times it just became daytime and I was able to play through. It's a little annoying though because you have to wait for the chicken to hatch until morning. And then if you don't get in here quick enough, you have to wait until the next day to sneak into the castle. It's a lot of waiting. Luckily, the day and night cycle for this game is actually pretty quick. If only we had the song that let us skip ahead 12 hours like in Majora's Mask, we'd be able to do this in no time, but sadly we're gonna have to wait a minute. Yeah, you can see the moon moves incredibly fast, so it won't take long for us to be able to do this, but we do have to wait a minute. Figure we don't need that chicken on us anymore. Okay, sun's starting to come up, so now we can move on. So we'll sneak past the guards in here and we'll go talk to Princess Zelda. So yeah, during the day those two guards are gone and we're able to progress. So basically if you don't walk right in front of these guards, you can sneak in pretty easily. Their field of vision isn't that great. I wonder if they'll ever put this in a new Zelda game, like we'll have to sneak past guards in Breath of the Wild 2. For a while this was in like every Zelda game in some form or another. Just trying to not fall off of here. Seems easier than sneaking by the guy at the bottom because he moves pretty fast. Alright, so now there's two of them. We just wait for them to go around and sneak past them. We did it. We're into the castle. You don't recognize us, Zelda? We've saved you about 3 times already, maybe 4 at this point. The Zelda games came out before this. This was about the 5th one that released. Even in the timeline, this really wasn't the first game where we would have met Zelda. Yes, our name is G's Nuts. For anyone who doesn't know, that's just because the channel's called Games Gone Nuts. So we already know that the Triforce is hidden in the Temple of Time. And we need to get the 3 stones to unlock it. So we have the Forest Stone, we need to get the one of Fire and Water. And we need to do all this to stop Ganondorf from getting the Triforce and taking over Hyrule. Okay, so we're going to be headed off to Death Mountain and Kakariko Village to look for the Stone of Fire next. After that, we'll have to go to Lake Hylia and the Zora's Domain to look for the Stone of Water, and using the 3 we can open the Temple of Time.